Hi, Catherine.
Hi, Ray Kate.
We're here because we're still living off the former glory of Family Constellations from yesterday. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Catherine did an amazing job. We just wanted to hop on real quick and talk about Family Constellations because we're going to be offering it here more and more at the Curious Heart. And I feel like it's going to really be a modality that's going to be super important, and it's going to be really popular. And people need to know a little bit more about it. So we're just going to chat real quick about it. So
sounds good.
Good. So Catherine's been, tell us just a brief bit about your training. You've been training for how long now?
A tiny bit over a year.
Yeah.
I've been involved since 2022 in Family Constellations, but it wasn't until last year that I just dove right into the deep end and started taking classes.
Yeah, but they're like deep end classes. Like these aren't like 45 minute workshops.
No. Oh no.
Yeah, this is like all day events.
Weekly, all day events.
Yes, I know that. I know that. You're out of pocket on Thursdays. Right. Yeah. So what is the difference, if any, between Family Constellations and Ancestral Healing? Because Ancestral Healing is like a buzzword in the spiritual community right now.
I would say that they're the same.
Okay.
I think one of my biggest pet peeves, I'm going to say, when we say ancestral healing is that we push back all the responsibility and blame back on to the past, when in fact we're living it right here, right now. And so that's what I love about Family Constellations is we're dealing with it right now. We're not just saying, oh, it's in the past, I don't have to worry about it.
Okay, so that's interesting, but it aren't some things that happened in the past, like let's just say, you know, my great-grandmother was an alcoholic and she lost a child.
Right.
How is that affecting me? Other than that, I know that that's family lore that's been passed down. You know, this isn't necessarily true. I didn't have I'm using this as an example, so I don't need my cousins reaching out to me like, your grandmother wasn't an alcoholic. Total, let's just caveat that. But how is that, like that's family lore that I've heard about, but how is that affecting me necessarily today?
Right, so that grief, well, we don't know, right? We don't know what was behind the alcoholism, but let's just assume that the grief from losing a child, the grief of maybe she was forced into a marriage that she didn't really love. We don't know, right? But that's kind of what we look at. And then that grief that she carries on down the line and grows with additional trauma on top of it until it comes to you. And so that's why we deal with it right here, right now.
So I'm almost born into it.
Correct.
Or a person's like, that's sort of like is it part of a soul contract, do you think? Or is that?
You know, it's funny because I've asked my teacher that, and she studied directly with Bert Hellinger, who's the founder of this, and she doesn't have an answer.
Okay, well.
The whole idea is that we want to belong to our family system, whether it's conscious or unconscious. And so we will do whatever it takes to belong, and we might take on energies that aren't even ours.
Right, that we don't even realize that we're doing it. Yeah. So when we do this work, we do something that's called, we work in a place called the field.
Correct.
Yeah. We're not going to try to pronounce the actual name of the field.
No. It's phenomenological.
Phenomenological.
No.
If you can say that 5 times fast, you become an official not for ready for primetime player. We call it the field because we can't pronounce that word.
Right.
But can you talk a little bit about the field? Like what's the process of a constellation?
Okay. So the field, even Bert, who founded this work, could not describe the field, and I'm not even sure that I could describe it either. But I'm going to call it a feeling. We are hyper tuned into the intention of bringing forward these ancestors and these energies and emotions that are sitting there, and we feel into it. And I don't know about you, but when I do it, it's like it just comes over me, and as a feeling.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
I was telling Catherine before that when somebody picks me, especially be their mother, I'm like, oh, nuts. What am I going to do? I don't know what I'm doing. But when you seem to step into the field, which is a circle, it's a circle, and everybody's surrounding the circle. There's people that are surrounding the circle. And you step in and you suddenly, you know, I don't even know who the person's mother is. I might not even know their name, but I know the person. I don't even know the person, really.
No,
I know their face,
right,
just because they're in front of me. But an energy, a feeling comes over me, and am I going to feel angry? Am I going to feel hurt? Loving?
Right.
Like, I don't know how I'm going to feel. Somehow I always seem to feel angry. They pick me for the angry ones. But
your face changes.
My face does change, and people have said that.
Yes.
My face changes. So we don't know, like, we don't call it channeling because it's not channeling, and it's not improv.
And it's not spiritual mediumship.
And it's not spiritual mediumship. It's some other
Phenomenon.
form. Yeah, phenomenological.
Yes, yes.
That we can't explain, but I can tell you 100% that even people that aren't intuitives, they have they just show up.
Yep.
They seem to be able to take on the energy of the person they're representing, whether it's a mother, a brother, a sister, a husband.
Right.
It doesn't really seem to make a difference, and it doesn't matter what your level of spiritual knowledge is. You could be a total muggle. And
well, and I told you that example too, where I was in a constellation where it was brand new to this guy who showed up, and he was chosen to be the father, to represent the father. And he literally said, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to do this. What am I doing? And it was so perfect for that constellation. That was exactly the energy of the father.
Because the father didn't know what he was doing.
Exactly. And so it'll all work out. You just have to trust the field.
You do. You have to trust the process, trust the field, not let your ego or your left brain get involved.
Yes,
and once you really, and I had a hard time with the first constellation doing that. I kept breaking character.
Yes, you did.
I kept breaking character. I'm like, I'm really a nice person. I don't like that I'm being so mean. Mary Kate, stop doing that.
Or you were primal screaming.
Oh gosh, yeah. I won't do that again. That was crazy. That was like over the top. What was going on there?
That was weird.
So it's a very unique healing modality, one that you can definitely add to your toolbox in terms of if you feel like there's some repeated pattern that you see in your family that continues, that you can trace back. Definitely worth coming to our next informational session, which will be
April 7th. Sunday, April 7th at 10. It'll probably be 2.5 hours.
Yeah, and so you'll do the whole enchilada with explaining, breaking it down.
I'll explain it in the simplest terms possible, and we will have experiences in the field. Yeah. And that's really the only way to explain this work. Is to do it. I think, is to do it. Yeah. So yesterday we did, in one session we did 2 constellations, and in the next one we did 3. We were able to fit in 3 constellations. Yeah. So if you're interested, guys, you can go to the link in my bio, or you can go to the link in Catherine's bio. Which leads to her link.
And you can register. It's only $10. It's a placeholder.
Right.
So it's important though that you understand before you actually do a real constellation, before you set up, It's
helpful.
It's helpful.
It's not necessary, but I highly, highly recommend it.
Yeah, and you know what?
Coming in. Yeah.
I feel like the people yesterday that were in those constellations, there's a level of like intimacy after that.
Yes.
And it's whether you were constellated or not, you felt everybody walked away with something yesterday, some healing.
It's the raw human. And when we connect at that level, it's just a different experience.
Right, because whether somebody was constellated, everybody in the room said, I saw that issue in myself and my own experience. Right, and now I have a nugget I can take home and think about. So you're not necessarily going to get constellated. Some people didn't want to be constellated. Right. They just wanted to watch. Right. So you can totally do that. It's a great way to dip your toe into the water. Catherine's amazing, and she's a good facilitator. So go to our link, and then you also do have the first constellation up.
Right. So we're going to do group work, and oh my gosh, I forgot the dates already.
March, I thought.
Oh my God, we're horrible marketers.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
But we are going to do real group work. So when you come in for the constellation,
it'll be in the notes.
It'll be all constellation. It's not going to be a workshop explaining it. It's going to be straight into constellating for 2.5 hours.
And I'll have the date in the description field for this. So
wow, we're so good at marketing.
Yay! Yes, we just. So that's all we have for today, guys. But we're thinking about coming back and doing the spiritual minute. But this was a spiritual 10 minutes. Yes. Maybe we need to call it the spiritual 10 minutes. So, but that was constellations. Maybe we'll call this our first spiritual minute.
I love it.
Family constellations.
I love it.
With me and Catherine, like bantering about like
esoteric
ideas.
Right.
Okay.
All right. Good.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks, Mary Kate.
It's game on. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.